Hi, everybody. I'm Cheryl Jackson. Welcome to another heart-to-heart discussion. Today, our discussion is here to help DC, and I love it because we have some amazing professionals who's going to come on and talk about the aftermath of course, of the utility assistance and some things we can help you with during this pandemic. So we're going to go ahead and get started and bring on our guests. We first have Emile Thompson, Commissioner of the Public Service Commission of the District of Columbia. How are you, Emile?
I'm doing well. How about yourself, Cheryl?
Awesome. Welcome to our heart-to-heart discussion. We also have Sandra Mattavous-Frye. She's Frye. She's the People's Counsel of the District of Columbia. I tried to get that right?
You really did. You were close. So that's the hard part right. You got the hard part
right. Sandra Mattavous-Frye, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. We have also Tommy Wells. He's the Director of the District of Columbia Department of Energy and Environment. Hi, Tommy. All right. There you go. He gave us away.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, we're excited to talk with you tonight. Ted Trabue is also here, Director of the District of Columbia's Energy Utility. So hi, Ted. Welcome.
Good evening, Cheryl. How are you this evening?
Awesome. So listen, for those who are watching via Facebook, via YouTube, share, especially if you live in the District of Columbia. We want to make sure we're answering your questions. We'll give you opportunity to talk with the experts from all of these departments. If you have any questions about utility, about what's going on with regards to the pandemic, they are here to help, i.e. hashtag here to help DC. Okay. So we want to make sure that you guys are engaging. And so don't just sit back and listen, but if you have some questions, we want to answer the hard questions. So thank you for joining us, and also share on your page. This is great information that we want to share with all of our viewers and all of our listeners. So thank you listening on our Facebook page, our website, and of course our YouTube page. All right, we're going to jump right in. We'd love to learn more about all of the organizations that you represent. Now, of course, if we don't work in the government, we don't know all the acronyms, right? But we'll go ahead and get started. So bear with us as we try to get all the acronyms and make sure we have the right departments. But let's start with Emile, since you came on first. Talk about your department and your organization. Tell us more about the department that you represent.
Okay, thank you. The DC Public Service Commission governs the utilities, Pepco, Washington Gas, and Verizon that serve the District of Columbia. We ensure that the utilities provide safe, reliable, and quality utility services at a reasonable rate to DC customers. We do this by acting like a court when we set the utility rates. In addition, the DC PSC, the Public Service Commission, is tasked with helping the district achieve its climate commitments under the DC Clean Energy Act. We do this by keeping those policy commitments, 100% renewable energy by 2032 and zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050, in mind as we make decisions regarding utilities. Finally, just a little bit more about the Public Service Commission. There are 3 commissioners that are appointed to 4-year terms by the mayor and confirmed by the DC Council.
Wonderful. So thank you for that. Sandra?
OPC is your utility lawyer. By law, we are required to represent consumers before the Public Service Commission, before the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, before the FCC, and really any forum where the interest of DC utility ratepayers are affected. We do our job by advocating, protecting, and educating. We advocate, as I mentioned, by appearing before the Public Service Commission and in trials and proceedings that we have. And the primary focus there is to keep utility rates low. So we go in and we fight it out with the utilities to make certain that consumers pay just and reasonable rates. We also protect, and by that I mean that we have consumer protection rules and policies that we enforce and that we really tell consumers that they have, because frequently consumers don't know what their rights are. They don't know what protections they have. So we do that. And then we educate. And we believe that an educated consumer is an informed consumer, and that helps them in making decisions about their utility service. We show consumers how to read their bills, how they can use energy efficiency measures to lower their bills, and really important nowadays is technology. Technology is coming, and we want to make certain that consumers are prepared to use it to their advantage.
I love that. So consumers, for those who are watching that are district residents, it looks like OPC is on your side. They're the one that's going to govern everything. Dion Calhoun says OPC is here to help consumers during the pandemic. I love that. Thank you, Dion. All right. So let's go. Tommy's not on right now. So let's go with Ted. Ted, talk about your department and your organization.
Thank you very much. Cheryl, it's a pleasure to be here this evening. The District of Columbia Sustainable Energy Utility is kind of the new kid on the block. Commissioner Thompson and his group were established back in 1913, well over 100 years ago. Sandra Mattavous-Frye, our People's Counsel, probably came along, with her organization, not personally. Not that much. Not that much later, and it's important to have an advocate on behalf of the residents of the District of Columbia, because they personally could not go in front of a commission like the Public Service Commission and represent themselves. So the People's Counsel plays a vital role here in the District of Columbia. But about 13 or so years ago, the Council of the District of Columbia realized that climate change was impacting us all here in the United States. And so they wanted to do something about it. Very important work here in the District of Columbia to help our residents reduce their energy bills, to help them conserve energy, to help clean the air in our environment. And so a bill was passed called the Clean and Affordable Energy Act of 2008 that called on the city to create an independent organization by contract that would come in and work with Director Wells in the Department of Energy and Environment to run the city's energy efficiency and renewable energy. And by renewable energy, I'm primarily talking about solar here. Renewable energy and energy efficiency programs. And so we are funded by a surcharge on all ratepayers' bill, with the exception of our income qualified customers, our low income customers. All customers, be they residential, large commercial, small commercial, institutional, our universities, hospitals, all pay a surcharge on their utility bills that's collected by the city and then remitted to our organization to run programs on behalf of all residents and businesses in the city to help them reduce their energy bills. So that's what we do. Every year. We have a goal that's set by the Department of Energy and Environment. Director Wells, unfortunately, he texted me and he gives his regards to us. He's out in the middle part of America, and he says that his connection is not going to work until the infrastructure bill is passed and we can get some better internet connection. So unfortunately, he won't be able to be with us this evening. But we are contractors, and for the last 10 years, we've been contractors to the Department of Energy and Environment. And so we run about a dozen or so energy efficiency programs, both for residents, small businesses, and large businesses. And then we run several solar programs. Our solar programs almost exclusively benefit our low-income customers here in the District of Columbia. We install systems on single-family homes, absolutely free of charge to the residents, to our income-qualified residents. And then we install community solar systems on large buildings. And a community solar system, if you're not familiar with it, say you have a large building like a school or something like that, we would install a large system there. The school itself wouldn't receive the energy, but the energy would be put on the grid here in the District of Columbia, and the credits from that energy would be divided amongst our low-income residents, and those credits would cut the residents' energy bills in half. Wow. Once you subscribe to it, you have a subscription for about 15 years. So it cuts the energy bills of our residents and the electric bills, that is, and half for our residents for 15 years. So we, as I said, run a variety of programs here in the District of Columbia, and we can dive into them, everything from helping buy down the cost of energy efficient products that you put in your home or in your business, or actually performing engineering services for our larger buildings, where we go inside of those buildings with our engineers who are on staff, walk around the buildings, take a look at the systems within the buildings, then make a set of recommendations to change out, improve, better operate equipment. And then all of that comes at a cost, of course. And so we help, if we said, you ought to buy a new air conditioning system, you ought to buy a new heating system, buy new lights. We help you buy down the cost of those products to incentivize you to move forward with the energy efficiency programs. I know I've talked for quite a bit, but it is
That's good.
A complex sort of an organization. We're very, very proud of the work that we do. We, as I said, are funded by ratepayers in the District of Columbia. We've received, some stimulus funds as well. And so our annual budget starting in October is a little over $50 million a year.
That's amazing. That's awesome. And, I spoke with some representatives from the DOEE, and they've talked about solar. And a lot of people think that it's expensive, but it's so many different options and opportunities. If you have community solar, if you have, different organizations like yours that can help them in the system with it. So I love this conversation. All right. So we're going to start with Commissioner Thompson. What is hashtag Here to Help DC? We've been doing that. As you can see, it's on our banner, hashtag Here to Help. And how did hashtag H2H DC partnership with, DCPSC, DCPSC, I'm not in government, OPC, DOEE, and DCSEU come about? Meaning, how did this partnership with all of these organizations that's represented tonight come about? You got unmute.
Thank you. Sorry. Yes. Here to Help DC is a coalition, like you stated, of DC agencies that serve district utility consumers. We've come together to help residents and businesses impacted by COVID-19 by providing information on how to save energy and money. Now, you also asked, how did the coalition come about? Well, at the onset of COVID-19, the commission, as well as our partner organizations, understood the long-standing impact that COVID-19 would have on our consumers, even after the public health emergency was over. This prompted the commission to approach DCSEU, DCOPC, and DOEE, the organizations on this show, to join forces to magnify our voices to inform consumers about assistance programs and resources. So as a result, we've created a website that is a one-stop shop for DC residents and businesses. It has a list of all the programs and the resources available to help with your utility bill. And the website is heretohelpdc.dc.gov. On the website, which I think is fairly clear and easy to use, there are three main sections. One, consumer protections. Two, consumer assistance programs. And then the last, saving energy and money. We've also listed other utility-related resources that can help consumers.
I like it. And I love that it's a one-stop, like it's a one place that people can go, because as a resident of the district, it's so hard sometimes to find the programs that you need if you have to list all of them, you know what I mean? But to actually go to one spot and be able to see all the resources you need to help is amazing. So Doxy McCoy says, so many good letters, but you got it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Doxy. It means a lot coming from you. So there's the website there. It's heretohelpdc.gov. It's on the banner as well for those that are DC residents. It's a one-stop shop. You go there, you can see the resources that you need to help. Utilize them. So our guest, Tommy Wells, is back, Director of the District of Columbia Department of Energy and Environment. So let's welcome Tommy back, and then we'll give him opportunity to also share what his organization does. Oh, he's gone again. Okay. He's having some connectivity issues, so that's fine. But we'll continue.
Cheryl, he asked me to say on his behalf, and
okay,
I'm really, really happy to pass this along, of course. The Department of Energy and Environment is one of the agencies under the auspices of the executive branch of government, led by our great mayor, Muriel Bowser. The Bowser administration has been very, very, I would say, forward thinking in their ability to create a clean energy plan for the District of Columbia, which calls for us to significantly reduce our energy use by 2032, cutting emissions, entirely greenhouse gas emissions, at a date down the road. And so Director Wells and his agency are actually the ones who are primarily responsible for helping the city meet its clean energy goals. The Bowser administration, I think, has done some really great things around energy use and reduction here in the District of Columbia, and the statistics bear out, as Commissioner Thompson's organization has kept them over the years, that we've been able to reduce energy consumption in the city by roughly 1% a year. Each year for better than half a decade now. The city has decided moving forward to significantly increase its investment in energy efficiency and renewable energy programs. And so realizing that if we're going to hit our goals that we've set by 2032 and by 2050, we have to make a significant investment in doing that. We can't just wish energy reductions and greenhouse gas emissions away. We have to actively support programs that will make these things happen. And so the Bowser administration has made a very, very strong commitment to increase the amount of funding as well. And I should say this, the Council of the District of Columbia about 2 years ago approved legislation to allow the utilities to get back into the energy efficiency space as well. So you will see probably at least PEPCO, who has filed for permission to operate energy efficiency programs in the District of Columbia. You may see them operating programs at some point in the future, as long as that Commissioner Thompson will have and his commissioners will have some say in that, and clearly People's Council will have a voice in that decision, as well as several other key stakeholders here in the city. But the mayor has made this very, very strong commitment towards energy reduction and greenhouse gas reduction in the city. I wanted also to say, on behalf of the Department of Energy and Environment, to those of your listeners out there, your viewers, who may be having trouble with their energy bills, assistance is readily available by calling 311. Please, if you're having trouble paying your bills, the city has the financial resources to support you, and the mayor would want you to call 311, express your need, and make sure that you get help with your energy bills. There's no reason for people to have their energy services disconnected. The city does have resources that are available to help our residents.
I love that. We have opportunity on our community affairs show to talk with people from the DOEE and
Department of Energy and Environment.
There you go. We've had opportunity to talk with them, and not only with assistance with your energy, your utilities, but there are so many job opportunities and training and mentorship programs that's connected to it as well. And that's what I really love about the program, is that they're putting people to work, because this is a whole new environment. This is a whole new workforce that they need workers for. So they're mentoring, they're employing, and they're doing stuff that's going to make a difference as far as energy in our city.
Okay. Right. We run a large
water division.
Oh yeah. Awesome. And I want to say we run a large workforce development program as well. We call it an externship program, where we bring district residents in and give them 5 months of paid on-the-job training.
Wow.
With a number of our partners. DC Water just popped up. We have externs positioned at DC Water, the Council of Governments. They work at some of our universities, and other at some of the contractors who are working with us doing the installation of HVAC systems and lighting systems. Some of our externs work with them, and we have a placement rate of about 85% of our graduates go on to full-time employment. And so we're very, very proud of that. And it's important to get our residents involved in the programs that are being supported by our district ratepayers, and to get them jobs and experience in this new economy.
And, you know, and that's why these town hall meetings are these virtual events are so important, because we may not know about this, but they are, you know, not just helping with energy and helping you with utility, but they're educating the consumer. You know, there's programs that are in place with all of these organizations that will educate you, that will give you the information you need and help with employment. So I think that's amazing. We're going to keep it moving. So Sandra, what is happening to people who are behind on their utility bills during the pandemic?
Cheryl, I know we're pressed for time, but
no,
I would be so totally remiss if I didn't mention that we did recently, well, 2 years ago, added to our quartet our water services division.
Okay.
And since that time, we have been extremely successful in representing DC water consumers with assistance for their bills, as well as we intervene or we present testimony when the DC Water Board have their rate hearings. As a matter of fact, Commissioner Thompson was formerly with the DC Water Board. So we have been extremely active and extremely successful. I want to commend the commitment of my staff members that are working in that division. And I think I may have omitted it when I spoke earlier today, but they are fantastic. Anyway, let me tell you a little bit about, you know, what's going on with utility consumers now. Many of them are scared, confused, and they don't know what options are available to them to help pay their bills. And what I want to say is that when the pandemic began in 2020, we immediately sought help and ways of protecting consumers. We went to the district council and urged them to pass legislation that would prohibit disconnections during the pandemic. We also had sessions with social service agencies, other social service agencies, to make certain that the public knew what was available, but also to make certain that these social service agencies knew what each other was doing and how to connect, so that we were able to present a smorgasbord of services that are available to consumers. Now, the moratoriums, I personally believe that the moratoriums saved lives. I think people did not have to do without basic gas and electric and telephone service during the pandemic, when they were facing all sorts of tragedies and challenges. But one of the problems was that the utility bills accumulated, and they resulted in, these outrageously high arrearages. And the reason being, of course, it's kind of obvious that just the physical impact of COVID-19, job losses that people were experiencing, and, rent bills, people had to make choices. And unfortunately, some of the choices that they made was not to pay their utility bill. Now, what that meant, like I said, what happened was those bills went up. For example, currently, PEPCO is reporting a $35.5 million arrearage for consumers. Washington Gas is reporting $19 million in arrearages, and DC Water is reporting $25.9 million in arrearages. Now, that's a lot of money. However, it's actually, the good news is it's actually lower than it was a few months ago. And what happened was the federal government provided the district government with funding, which was dedicated to providing relief for rent and utility arrearages. Mayor Bowser created the Stay DC program, which is a wonderful program that pays the rent arrearages and utility arrearages. Now, the district received $200 million for that funding, and so far they have spent $143 million in rent and utility assistance programs, and that's phenomenal. The average rent payment is $6,000. The average water payment is $935. the average electric bill payment is $852, and the average gas bill payment is $472. So that's, really helpful in terms of, the amounts that consumers owe, and, just helps ease the pain for those consumers.
Got it.
Now, what we also do is work with DOEE and the SCU, with the programs that they administer, particularly DOEE and their LIHEAP program. And we help consumers, one, fill out their DC state applications, and also funnel the LIHEAP programs to DOEE. And I say that's one of the problems. You may have heard that early on, there was a lot of concern and frustration regarding the programs because people simply didn't know how to fill them out, what to do, and when you're dealing with, it's interesting because a lot of the consumers were consumers who before had never applied for financial assistance. They were clueless as to what to do. And, even more tragic is that they did not have internet connections. So they couldn't, even though these were available online, they really couldn't use them. And some of them were using their phones, their cell phones. So they could come to us and we could really walk them through the process. And many of them were able to then we could direct them to DC, to stay DC.
Mm-hmm. I like it. Oh, Kelly Digidu says, make sure to visit to learn about consumer programs. That's here to help DC.gov. And of course, you can see that on the banner that's scrolling. So now that we know what the issue was, with the pandemic and numbers increasing and even how to access it, Commissioner Thompson, now tell us how to avoid utilities getting cut off now that we know what the problem is and the statistics of how much people are owing.
Yes, well, the public health emergency is over, but people are still struggling financially. And so our message has been, or is, to make a plan and pay what you can. We understand that consumers have been hit hard financially, so we want to make sure consumers know that help is available. Currently, district residents who are behind on their PEPCO, Washington Gas, and/or Verizon landline bills are encouraged to start payment plans with the utility prior to October 12, 2021. Residents on utility payment plan who are no more than 2 months behind in meeting the terms of that plan by October 12, 2021 will not have their utility service disconnected. Also, residents enrolled in a utility discount program, you have RAD and RES, which are with PEPCO and Washington Gas, and Lifeline, which is with Verizon, or are enrolled in the Stay DC initiative, which Sandra was just talking about, or the DOE's LIHEAP program before October 12, 2021 will not have the utility service disconnected. Then finally, residents who are behind on their PEPCO, Washington Gas, Verizon bills, and have been unable to enroll in the payment plan, are not part of one of the discount programs we talked about, or have been unable to enroll in the Stay DC program, as long as they reduce their unpaid bills to less than $600 by October 12, 2021, this will help prevent service disconnection after that date. Got
it. So it's important that we take advantage of the help that they have there. It's important that you start paying something on it so that by October, you're not being cut off. So Sandra, share consumer protection for utility consumers. I think you touched a little bit on it, but share some protections for utility customers.
Well, I'm going to tell you about the consumer protection. I was going to say Bible, but I'm trying Holy Book. That's better, right? And what that is, it represents the whole panoply of protections that are actual laws that are enforceable by the Commission for the utilities. And what I'm going to do, I think there's over 300 of them. But what I'm going to do is just read 10 of some of those that are there, because they really are helpful to consumers, and consumers definitely don't know what they are. For example, there's no you cannot be disconnected if your doctor's note is provided that you have a condition that warrants medical attention or some sort of equipment. There's no disconnection if a complaint is filed with the PSC. No disconnection if a deferred payment arrangement is established. No disconnection after Thursday at 5 p.m. through Monday at 8 a.m. And, that's really good because sometimes your power is off for the whole weekend. Utility company must make personal contact with the consumer before terminating service. That's the last knock rule. Consumers are not required to provide their social security number for service. And that's, one of those things where people previously had to provide that, and it's such an intrusion. The utility field service representatives must have a badge, and that's also important because there's so many unscrupulous entities out there that pretend to be representatives of the commission and or the utilities. The utility companies are prohibited from disclosing the customer's private information, and that's a big deal because privacy issues are important, especially during this age. Utility field service representatives can accept payment to avoid disconnection. Those are just, and energy suppliers may not engage in deceptive marketing practices. And we could do a whole show on that, but
absolutely.
But those are just a sampling of some of the things that are, there and that consumers have at their disposal. And you can call us at opc-dc.gov, and our consumer complaint representatives will show you, let you know, and assist you in enforcing those protections.
All right. Doxy McCoy says you can find the Consumer Bill of Rights on the PSC and OPC websites, and a separate water consumer BOR is on OPC site as well. So thank you guys so much for your assistance. I like what Dion Calhoun said too. If you could put that up, Brian. Dion says, DC consumers, don't wait until you're in trouble or behind in your bill. Your utility problems won't go away. Be proactive and call OPC to get on a payment plan. OPC is here to help. And I like that. And so that's what the whole show is about. It's about DC organizations that's coming together to help the consumer. Hashtag here to help DC. Go to the website at your fingertips. You'll have a bunch of resources, but again, don't ignore it. Tommy's not here, but Ted, I'm sure you can answer this one. Are there consumer assistance programs that residents can access that will help them manage their utility during after the pandemic? And can all district residents apply? And before you answer that, I do want to say to anybody who's on the thread, if you know a senior, somebody who doesn't have access to this website or via electronics, share this information with them. Be proactive to help our seniors, those who are not as technologically astute, right? Make sure that they know what's going on. But Ted, if you could answer Tommy's question there, I would appreciate it.
When you say manage your utilities, I like to think about helping you reduce the amount of consumption that you currently have in your home or in your business. And clearly that's where some of our programs come in. Let's talk about some of the easier, less expensive, or actually sometimes no cost benefits that we can provide to our residents. For our income qualified residents, because we use this term income qualified, we use 80% of area median income as below as our income qualification guidelines. And so we have some special programs that are available for our income qualified program residents. First of all, let's talk about lighting. Lighting is about 20% of your electric bill in your home. If you are an income qualified resident, we have something called an energy kit. An energy kit contains 6 high efficient LED light bulbs. It contains a power strip that will also help you reduce the energy usage in your home. And an energy kit also contains a faucet aerator that will allow you to you put these faucet aerators in, and you'll reduce the amount of water that you're using, helping you manage your utility usage. And so you put these lights in and you put the water faucet aerator in. It helps you significantly reduce the amount of energy use in your home. If you go on our website, which is DCSEU.com, again, DC Sustainable Energy Utility, DCSEU.com, we'll mail you an energy kit for free. For all of our other residents, if you'd like an energy kit, and these energy kits are probably worth $60 to $80. The cost of the energy kit is only $10. So for if you're not income qualified, don't worry about it. If you'd like an energy kit, again, go to our website, register with us. It's only $10. It's a great value. Will help you immediately reduce the energy consumption in your home. A lot of energy is used also by inefficient furnaces. And a lot of older furnaces then conk out. We have a program that we will start in October to replace furnaces for our residents. Again, income qualified residents, free of charge to the resident. We'll replace that furnace, those gas furnaces, with a high efficient electric unit. Again, trying to help our greenhouse gas emissions. So we're going to take out the gas burning furnaces, replace them, furnaces and water heaters with the electric units. And so the Department of Energy and Environment has provided us funding to do this. We've done it in some years past. And so particularly for our senior citizens, for those who are on limited incomes, when your furnace blows out, a furnace is very expensive to replace. A lot of times $5,000 or more to replace a basic furnace. We'll do this work for you. We'll send a qualified contractor out to your house and replace the unit for you free of charge. And so again, we're helping you manage your energy use. I talked about our solar program earlier. If you are in income qualified, again, at 80% or less or of area median income, and you'd want to subscribe to one of our community solar projects, we take about 2,000 residents a year. We build enough community solar projects out here to help about 2,000 residents a year reduce their energy bills by 50% for the next 15 years. Again, you can go on DOEE's website to subscribe. You can go on our website in order to subscribe. The subscription process is very, very easy. It'll save you a significant amount of money on your energy bills. And of course, I said, for those of you in single family homes who would like to get a solar system on your home, we install over 100 solar systems a year on income qualified residents' homes. And so that'll significantly, again, reduce your energy bills. We've been installing these systems for a decade now. We're very proud to say that when we started installing these solar systems back in 2012, we took a look at a map of the District of Columbia. The Public Service Commission holds this map, and they can show you where all of the systems are installed in the city. And as you can imagine, in wards 3 and 4, Ward 1, some of your wealthier areas of town, there were well over 1,200 to 1,500 systems. If you looked at Ward 7 and 8 combined, Ward 7 and 8, there were less than a dozen solar systems, and in Ward 5 there were only about 12 solar systems. Today that map looks very different. We've installed almost 1,000 solar systems, primarily in wards 5, 7, and 8. And the map looks dramatically different than it did a decade ago when we started this work. Solar was not understood very much, and clearly was unaffordable for our residents a decade ago, and that's not the situation today. And so please, we also can give you our phone number for our office. If you don't like websites, our phone number is 202-479-2222. Just hit 0. A live person will come on, walk you through all of the programs that we have. Again, it's 202-479-2222. I know a lot of people don't like websites. They'd like to talk to a live person. We have a project intake coordinator. Her name is Catherine. She'll speak with you and talk to you about all of the different programs we have. And that's not just for income qualified residents. That's for, any residents or businesses here in town that would like to avail themselves of our services. We are very, very very happy to help you with your energy efficiency and renewable energy needs.
Thank you. So let's talk about the climate change and how cutting energy is important to fight that, because that's one of the big topics right now in Congress and the Senate they're talking about, and we're starting to see the effects of climate change. So talk about the fight against climate change and how cutting energy helps with that.
Sure. Were you addressing that question to me? Okay. I'm sorry. I had a little noise in the background. My son and his music teacher. Okay. Climate change.
Yeah. Talk about how energy, just briefly, because we have to get through our questions, but how it's important to fight against climate change, energy.
In our view, greenhouse gas emissions are the primary contributor to climate change. Not just locally, but internationally, all around the globe. Mm-hmm. The majority of the energy that we consume here in the District of Columbia is produced by burning fossil fuels, coal, oil, natural gas. If you look at our electric system here in the District of Columbia, primarily receives energy from coal, oil, and natural gas. To the extent that we reduce the consumption of energy in the District of Columbia, we reduce the emissions of greenhouse gases from those power plants that are providing services to the District of Columbia residents. To the extent that we reduce gas consumption by our DC residents, putting in more efficient gas equipment or replacing gas equipment with electric equipment, we are reducing greenhouse gases and reducing the impact that greenhouse gases have on climate change. To the extent that we install renewable energy systems and alleviate the need for so much power from generators and things that are coming from greenhouse gases, again, we're helping the climate change. We can't do this alone. This is an international battle.
Right.
But the District of Columbia has signed up and said that we would remain part of the Paris Climate Accord even after President Trump pulled the country out of it. The District of Columbia, Mayor Bowser said, look, we're staying in. We're going to keep our commitment up. And we've been doing that for the last decade. And so it's vitally important that we reduce greenhouse gases. Now, it's not all about what we do in our homes and in our businesses. We got a lot of cars and buses running around town as well, operating on fossil fuels. And so, that's unfortunately not under our jurisdiction to help with transportation needs in the city. But, there are others, in the Department of Energy and Environment is working on those initiatives as well. And so this is a fight where all of us, I believe, if you speak to people in New Orleans and ask them, do you think that the storms that we believe are being created, many of these more intense storms are coming from climate change? Speak to the people in New Orleans whose electrical system has been wiped out. Devastated by the storm that just came through there yesterday or the day before. And our hearts go out to them. As people counsel knows, Sandra Mattavous-Frye and I have known each other for a long, long time. I used to be the vice president of PEPCO when we used to have these really bad outages here in the District of Columbia, and the impact that it has on our residents and businesses when you don't have electric service it can be devastating, particularly when it's hot outside. It's supposed to be over 100 degrees tomorrow in New Orleans. Can you imagine what your seniors are going through without air conditioning, without the ability to cook food, without the ability to get clean water? This is a bad situation.
It is. It is. I think we've already talked a little bit about the programs and initiatives that's assisting DC utility consumers. If not, I'll give you opportunity to share what we haven't shared already. We'll start with Commissioner Thompson, and you can go ahead and share those, and then we'll go with you, Sandra, and then Ted. You can tell us if there's any other initiatives that we haven't already talked about.
Yes, and I'll move kind of quick pitch. I know we're starting to run out of time, Cheryl. DC, what we've been doing is what we always do. Through our Office of Consumer Services, we're taking calls from consumers and assisting with their utility bills. Also, we have 4 initiatives where we're helping DC residents. The first is DC Power Connect website. For over 20 years, DC consumers have had the power to choose their retail energy supplier. However, many consumers might not understand how to read their utility bills or select a supplier. As a result, the commission launched DC Power Connect, a new website where district energy consumers can shop for their energy supplier. DC Power Connect allows consumers to learn how to read their bills, review our list of suppliers serving the city, and compare prices between different suppliers. It also provides a safe and secure way for consumers to learn about retail energy suppliers so they can make an informed decision about switching their suppliers. You can learn more about that at dcpowerconnect.com. Also, something that Sandra kind of mentioned earlier is our initiative to fight utility scams. With the increase in reported scams during the pandemic, the Fight Utility Scams website is a one-stop shop for consumers that provides tips, videos, and community resources. The website equips utility consumers with information about individuals impersonating utility representatives over the phone, online, or in person. These scammers frequently threaten residents and business owners with disconnection of service if they don't pay them immediately. That website is fightutilityscams.com. We also have something called the Deep Energy Retrofit Program. And as part of the district's efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and help fight climate change, the DC Public Service Commission has advanced a whole building deep energy retrofit program. This program is an energy efficiency and energy conservation program that assists affordable multifamily building owners with energy efficiency retrofit financing. And it also helps owners of apartment buildings identify other energy programs that could minimize their building's energy usage. And then last, but certainly not least, we have a COVID-19 resource page. And this page is to keep our consumers and stakeholders informed of all utility-related response efforts and the Commission's actions as well. And you can find that right on our main webpage at dcpsc.org.
Awesome. Sandra?
I'm not going to go away. I think that we've covered a lot of the initiatives that we have. One thing that I did want to say, I have to say this. I know that the Commission is having a seminar in September regarding energy and climate change and a number of issues. So I wanted to mention that. But what I really wanted to tell you is that OPC is hosting a climate conversation. And what that is an opportunity to have consumers be a part of the dialogue. So often we leave out our consumers, and really they are, critical to the success. They need to know, if you speak to a consumer on the street and you say climate change, they get that glazed look like, what are you talking about? Until you talk about, Hurricane Ida and, all of the other tropical storms that are coming. And what we need to do, I think it was Ted who mentioned, that these things are coming. We need, transportation issues. There are all sorts of climate related issues, but the public needs to be in that conversation. So we're having a conversation on September 29th, and it will be virtual, but no, it's October 29th. I know I'm going to get a bubble soon. To make certain that the public is involved in that dialogue.
Got it. Before we move to other events, Ted, is there any other initiative that we haven't already talked about from your organization that DC utility consumers can specifically start using?
I would say one that I have not discussed tonight, which is near and dear to our hearts. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, I've talked about lighting all night. I know I've talked a lot about lighting. But if you want to go and buy a new refrigerator, a air conditioning system for your house, a heating system for your house, a water heater, a furnace, a dehumidifier. We have great rebates that are available at District of Columbia retailers, Lowe's, Home Depot, and the like, to help you reduce the cost of buying high efficient equipment. And this is not an income qualified program. This is any resident in the District of Columbia is eligible to go to Home Depot, Lowe's. We have rebates on air source heat pumps of up to $700 per unit. Refrigerators and dishwashers and things like that are normally rebates of between $150 and $250. And for heating systems and air conditioning systems, it's a bit more than that. So go out if you do need to buy new equipment in your home. Please go out to some of our local DC retailers, and our logo, which I don't know if you can see it right here on my shirt. Our logo is going to be on that piece, on the demo piece of equipment that's on the display floor at Lowe's or Home Depot, and it'll show you how much the rebate is, and it's very, very easy to obtain. It's not a lot of work at all, and so we encourage all of our DC residents to purchase high efficient equipment in their homes and help reduce their carbon footprint, help reduce their energy use. Even if you're not a believer in climate change, I think all of us are a believer of dollars and cents. And the equipment that we buy turns into dollars and cents on our energy bill. And so the better the equipment is, the more efficient it is, the less you're going to be paying on your energy bills at the end of the month. And so I think all of us understand the economics behind it, even if we're not in agreement about the climate change and the impact on the environment. All of us like to save a few dollars on our energy bills.
DCPSC is hosting a Clean Energy Summit on September 28th to discuss the leaders about how we can all help DC achieve its clean energy goals and fight climate change. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So he was saying, look for the DC Sustainable Energy Utility logo on any of the equipment that you're planning to buy, and your local Lowe's, your local utility companies or wherever. Look for that rebate and take advantage of it. And as
I said, you could, if you're unfamiliar with where a retailer might be, you can go on our website, again, dcseu.com, or you can call our phone number 202-479-2222, and we're happy to tell you where a retailer is here in the District of Columbia where you can buy these products and get your rebates.
Awesome. So Sandra did already start talking about events coming up. Commissioner Thompson, do you have any events that you'd like to share? Off mute. You're muted.
I think he's on mute.
Okay, good.
Sorry. Sandra and then Kelly with the blurb on the bottom of the screen really hit it on the head. We have our Clean Energy Summit, Path to Decarbonization, that's coming up at the end of September. With multiple panels and keynotes from various players on the federal, local, the state level, and even some industry experts. We really encourage everybody to come or attend virtually. There's no cost. All you have to do is register. And again, that website is cleanenergysummitdc.com. Very informative, and it will be worth your time.
Awesome. Dad, did you have any events that you'd like our consumers to be to know about?
The Clean Energy Summit clearly is the quintessential event. That's coming up in the next month or so. I will say this: that we have not discussed this tonight. The city passed a law a couple of years ago requiring buildings that are over 50,000 square feet to report their energy usage, and for those that are not very efficient, to improve upon their energy usage, sometimes up to 20%. It's called Building Energy Performance Standards. The city will be kicking off a big event in late October to talk about the Building Energy Performance Standards and how buildings can get assistance with coming into compliance with the district's new law. We will be participating in that, and I'm sure People's Counsel and others will, as well as we talk about, what our commercial institutions need to do to improve their energy and efficiency and make their contributions towards cleaner energy. climate change. But as I said, all of us are in here together, and we are always available to help our residents, our consumers here in the District of Columbia, as they need assistance with, guidance on how to reduce their energy and guidance on how to get energy assistance if they're behind on their bills. We don't want anyone to feel like help is not available. That's why all of us, I think, have come together in this campaign to make sure that our residents get the services that they deserve.
I love it. We've got about 5 minutes to go, and I want to make sure we get all the information in that those that are viewing need to have. Thank you once again to those who are on our Facebook, our YouTube pages, our website to get all of this information. Those that are district residents, this information is for you. And listen, if you know a senior, if you know somebody who's not technologically astute, who will be on this thread or would be able to log on to these websites, make sure you share this information. DC consumers can also call 311 to reach all 4 agencies. We'll give you guys an opportunity to give final thought, and of course give the website to your agency as well. And we know that the go-to place to go is here to help DC.dc.gov. Here to help DC.dc.gov, where you can have all of this information at your fingertips. That's my best friend. Rosa says, thank you. Thank you for all of your participation and willingness to speak about these programs. Very informative and excellent. Yay, we're DC girls. All right. So we'll start with you, Commissioner Thompson, and then to you, Sandra. And then to Ted, we'll give you opportunity to share your websites and any final thoughts that you'd like our DC residents to have at this time.
Yes, I think that especially with everybody home during this time, one of the best things you can do to manage your energy costs is conservation. And remember, the cheapest megawatt is the one that isn't used. So that means, take advantage of daylight instead of using artificial lighting, turn off lights in unoccupied rooms, turn down the temperature in your water heater, take shorter showers. All these things will help you reduce your energy footprint. And then on top of that, you have lots of resources out there. You can call 311 to reach any of these 4 agencies. And again, I'm going to plug the website one more time, here to help dc.dc.gov. Thank you.
Awesome. Sandra?
Yes, well, first of all, I want to clarify and correct the actual date of our Climate Conversation Forum. It's on Saturday, October 16th.
Yes.
And it is The Price You Pay, Straight Talk and Climate Change and Environmental Injustice. It's free, and I encourage everyone to go to opcclimateeventbrite.com to register. Secondly, and this is not OPC, but we are very involved with non-English speaking consumers. And the Mayor's Office on Latino Affairs is providing in-person assistance with the completion of the Stay DC application for Spanish speakers with or without an appointment during business hours at the Frank D. Reeves Center located at 2014th Street Northwest. And that's important because so many of our non-English speaking consumers don't know where to go. And I would just conclude by saying that we really are all in this together. It's always interesting when we can collaborate in a joint project, joint plan, where you have the regulators and the advocates and the energy efficiency providers working together again for a common goal. So I, always enjoy these types of forums and look forward to additional ones and really look forward to the plan. And please come to our climate conversation on October 16th. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome.
I would just want to say in conclusion to thank you, Cheryl. Thank you for helping us tonight. Thank you for bringing us together. As a 4th generation Washingtonian, I've never lived outside of the city in my life. I just want to see the best for our residents here in the District of Columbia. Our phone number is 202-479-2222. We have some of the best energy programs in the country. When I started this work, we were ranked about number 13 in the country. As a city, we're ranked number 3 overall in the country right now. We have great programs. Our residents are out there, please avail yourself of the services that we're here to provide.
I like it. I love all the information that's been shared tonight. Here to help dc.dc.gov is where you can go and find all of this information at your fingertips. I loved what one of our viewers said, do not wait, do something. If you're behind on your utilities, do something now. Go to the website, find out ways that you can get assistance. Start paying as much as you can, a little bit at a time, because it's going to come a time when you're going to have to pay it all. But take advantage of the assistance so that if you can't pay it all, that you'll have assistance to do it. I love this information. Thank you, Kelly. She said, remember to make a plan, pay what you can. There you go. Here to help dc.dc.gov. That is the best route for those who are struggling with utilities. And look, take advantage of all of these programs. We talked about programs that will help with your utility bills, help you to become more energy efficient, programs that will even help you with employment and training, information that will help you with your bills, to educate you. All of this is at your fingertips in the District of Columbia. So these amazing guests tonight has been here to help us do that. So thank you to Commissioner Emile Thompson of the Public Service Commission of the District of Columbia, to Sandra Mattavous-Frye of the People's Counsel of the District of Columbia. She represents you. Tommy Wells wasn't able to be here, but left a wealth of information with Ted from the the District of Columbia Department of Energy and Environment. And then Ted Trabue, Director of the District of Columbia Sustainable Energy Utility. We thank you so very much for all of this information. I can't wait for us to do this again. This has been so great. I love that we have this service for our consumers in the District of Columbia. Listen, we got it going on in DC, and I absolutely love that. For all the information that you need, go to here to help dc.dc.gov. Thank you so much tonight for our panel. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, that's